Hello everyone. As promised, today we'll take a look at a company from the US stock market, MicroStrategy. This company is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin in the world. According to Reuters, as of January 2026, it held about 709,000 Bitcoins. And the question arises, why buy shares of the company? After all, you could just buy Bitcoin directly. But it's not that simple. On one hand, in some countries, people are used to buying stocks on the stock market and either don't know how or simply don't have the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency due to certain government restrictions, so they buy shares instead. Secondly, MicroStrategy is like Bitcoin on steroids. That is, at certain times it grows faster than Bitcoin, and at other times it falls faster than Bitcoin. In other words, you either get a premium on the upside or you get a discount on the downside. If we look at the monthly candles, you'll see that from its peak, it dropped by 72%, while Bitcoin fell by 36% from its all-time high. But what's interesting is that the company's stock reached its all-time high in November 2024, whereas Bitcoin set a new all-time high in 2025, which the company's stock did not. Now, let's pay attention to the levels. The most important level, in my opinion, is $138.88. This is the level from which the stock began its massive decline, and after breaking through it, it set a new all-time high. If we take a closer look, we'll see that this level hasn't been reached yet, but we've come very close to it. This means it acts as a kind of magnet, and there's a high probability that the stock will reach the $138.88 level. Second point, the $170.33 level is important because for many months, the stock kept hitting it and couldn't break above. But when that level was broken, the stock set a new all-time high. And what do we see now? Now, this level has been broken. It happened in December, and the January candle tried to break above this level, but still remains below, with the risk of dropping to around $139. What kind of forecast or expectation can we make based solely on this chart? With a high probability, we will see the value of 138.88. The 50-month moving average also passes through that level, but if we break through this level, then our next target will be the area of the 100-month moving average and the area of the support, which was once resistance, that is $75. Also, note that we had a clearly pronounced divergence here, and divergence often plays out either by the price dropping to the area of 50 on the RSI or to the area of 30 on the RSI. The 50 level has been broken, $139 acts as a magnet, and there is a chance to see a value of 30 on the RSI on the monthly candles. On the weekly candles, the company traded sideways for many years. This lasted from around March 2011 to October 2020. I don't know the real reasons for this, but most likely, very few people knew about the company. And when the mass media started actively talking about the company that had bet on investing in Bitcoin, it caused a wide resonance and sparked interest in the company. It gained more investors, more creditors, and more money to buy even more Bitcoin. And after that, things really heated up. The company began to rise and fall with very high volatility. Now let's take a closer look at the chart. What do we see here? After it broke away from the moving averages, it approached the 50-week average, then grew again, approached it again, and grew again. And here is the first touch of the 50-week average, and then we see a break below both the 50 and the 100-week averages. This suggests that we might be witnessing a break in the global trend. Now let's mark the important levels. The first important level is here. It couldn't be broken for a long time, but once it was, a new all-time high was set. That's $178. The second important level is here. This is the base of this sideways range. So considering that we've broken down below the $178 level, we could also see $117. We can't talk about growth yet, even despite this bullish engulfing candle from January 12th, because we're trading below the $178.05 level. So for now, the priority is downward, at least towards the 200-week moving average, which is $145 per share. But if we see that a weekly candle closes above the $178.05 level, then there is a chance to see the stock rise to the area of the 100-week moving average, which is $255, and the 50-week moving average, which is around $300. And the rather strong oversold condition on the RSI, in principle, suggests that such a scenario is possible. But I wouldn't risk buying here and now, especially considering the situation we discussed in the previous Bitcoin review. On the daily candles, we can see that the stock's growth was accompanied by periodic drops, sometimes to the 200-day moving average, then to the 100-day, then back to the 200-day, and once again to the 200-day moving average. And finally, there came a moment when neither the 200-day nor the 100-day moving average could stop the stock from falling. It even broke through the 300-day moving average, which is shown in blue, and dropped sharply lower. And this indicates that we are currently in a downtrend on the daily candles. And the fact that for the first time in a long while, the 50-day moving average level was tested only means that there is still no talk of growth, because the movement went downward from this level, and it may continue. When can we talk about growth? Only when the stock confidently holds above all the moving averages can we truly talk about growth. That's what happened to us, well, roughly, in this area, yes, or in this area. Now, when we are below all the moving averages, this point of testing the 50-day average is potentially an interesting place to sell the stock in order to buy it at a lower price. On that note, I suggest we wrap up. I wouldn't recommend making any purchases here and now because the stock is in a downtrend. Subscribe to the channel. The next review will be about the cryptocurrency market. Goodbye.